Hey you guys, it's me Kiana coming at you again today, and I'm coming at you because I wanted to talk about an issue that um, I don't know if I'm the only one out there, or I don't know if you guys maybe are experiencing somewhat similar things or have experienced them and just haven't maybe shared them with anybody else. But as you all know, I like to do thought-provoking videos. I like to do videos that maybe normally people would share, not share with others. And I like to bring up topics that we all wonder about when we're going through something, and we wonder if we're the only ones. This is a great forum to actually see if, in fact, you are the only one. And I use it sometimes and often to actually see and get the results of that. So as you all know, I'm doing somewhat of an overhaul of my way of thinking, not only changing my body physically, but also learning about myself and learning about why I've made certain decisions in my past, and has my weight somewhat interfered with the decisions or hindered me from growing, or stunted my abilities and growth in certain areas and all that. So with this change of my physical body and my mindset as well, comes along with, if you're with someone, whether that's a significant other or your spouse, you often have to incur, if in fact your family is going to be A, accepting of your change, and B, supportive of your change, and C, be able to handle your change without the dynamics of the relationship changing or the marriage falling apart. Now, as you all know, the Chuck does support me. He supports me in my efforts to physically change. Does he support me in my efforts to mentally change? I don't know, and that's basically what we're going to see. Because while you're in the process, you never truly know where you're going to wind up hitting as far as mentally. You know, it's not something that you can predict. As far as, like, I can predict how much I'll probably weigh by December, but I can't predict my mindset in December. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's hard to actually get an accurate assessment if the person that you're with will be able to handle the changes, because you don't even know the changes that's going to come. So my question, or my venting today, is about the fact that I'm always at home. I'm the type of woman that I'm always at home. If I leave out, as far as to go, not in my neighborhood or whatever, it's with an agenda. I'm not one of those that roam the streets. I'm not one of those that goes out clubbing or bar hopping or anything like that, and y'all already know that. And the thing is that as I'm changing myself, I'm wanting to experience things that I haven't experienced before. And I'm also wanting my own separate time to get my own head straight, to actually get my thoughts straight, and to express myself in other ways other than maybe sitting in front of the computer and venting on YouTube, or just being in the home and doing things that I need to do for my family. I'm not the type of person that would just get up and go without Chuck. Okay, and he often, to be honest, he doesn't like me to go without him. Most places he does not like me to go, and if he does, if he doesn't have an issue with me going, put it this way, he does have an issue with me going alone, and I think it's because he's accustomed to me being always in the home, and I think that's partially my fault, but at the same time, that's what I've always done. You have to understand also, although this is my second marriage, I was married young, and I had a long marriage previously. And I did this, as well as my other, because it's part of who I am. It's not because of a man. It's not because of what they want. This is who I am. Well, who I thought I was, or who I am. I don't know at this point. And that's what the evaluation is for. That's what evaluating it for. That's why I'm doing it. And with that being said, I don't want it to be a conflict. I already told him that it's going to be times where I maybe go early in the morning and come back late at night. I don't know where I'm going to go, to be honest. I may just want to go to a mall that's maybe 3 hours out the way, 2 hours out the way, and just, shop or something. Or maybe go to lunch by myself, and just to have some time to myself. And I already know it's not going to fly right. I know people are going to say so many different things, negative things about it. I know that firsthand people are going to say it's an insecurity on his part. And in fact, it probably is. But the problem, the question I have is, even if it is an insecurity on his part, how do you get over that hurdle? Not for us to focus on the fact it's an insecurity, or not to focus on the negativity part, but I want to know, how do you get over that hurdle without losing your relationship, and it falling apart. People say, "Oh, you acting brand new." He hasn't said that, but I've heard people say these kinds of things. And with people acting brand new, it may be not that they're acting brand new. It may be that they're acting the way they've always were intended to act. But for whatever reasons, or whatever hindered them from doing it, it was a roadblock there, stopping them from being a certain kind of way, or stopping them from experiencing certain things, or stopping them from indulging on certain things. Now, I've already expressed to him, and many of you can tell my personality, there's certain things I'm not going to do. I'm not going to be that chick that goes out drinking and smoking and all that kind of stuff. That's just not me. You understand what I'm saying? So to be worried about that's not going to happen. So that's the only problem I'm having, is that I can see it's hitting in a slight negative view as far as me wanting, and I haven't even did it yet, but for me wanting to go and branch off and do things on my own, I can already see it's going to be an issue. But A, how do you fix it before it starts? And B, how do you make sure that you secure that person with knowing, although you are embarking on something that you haven't done before, how do you instill in that person that it's okay for them to let you go a little, and it's okay for them to let the leash off a little bit? Are you understanding what I'm saying? So that's going to be an issue. I already know it's going to be an issue. And I don't want to be one of those relationships where the person loses a whole bunch of weight and then they lose double the weight because the other person next to them is gone. And I know that those kind of things happen quite often. And a lot of people think that they happen because, the person that lost the weight is feeling themselves or wants somebody else, when in fact sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's the other person that becomes so insecure that the relationship falls apart because of that. Whether they leave, or whether the person that is losing or has lost the weight is feeling smothered and they leave, regardless of the reasoning like that, it still is the fact that the relationship is over, and it stems from the weight loss. So, if any of you have experienced somewhat like this, I think this is a great topic for us to touch base on. I've opened up and shared some of my concerns, and I do plan on, like after this week, probably going places by myself. And even if I don't really know where I'm going to go, the fact that I just want to get up and go. And sometimes, like I said, I just want to be able to breathe without having, the kids and Chuck on my mind. Be able to breathe and to experience and see things. And even if it's nothing but just going to the Inner Harbor, just as an example, which is a tourist spot in Maryland, and just walking around the water and stuff. It could be anything, or just eating lunch and walking around the water and sitting down on the benches and stuff down there, maybe reading a book. It could be something like that, but I know my husband, and I know he's not going to really like that, because he's so used to A, being with me, B, we work together and run the family business together. So he's always used to being with me. And I know it's going to be kind of an issue because I can imagine it would be a slight issue for me. Although I don't mind for him to go out every now and then. I encourage him at least like once every month or once every 2 months when he says, you know, I'm thinking about going out with Darnell or something like that. I tell him to go ahead because he needs a breather. Because he does take up a lot of the slack in the home as far as helping. He not take up the slack, but he pitches in a lot with raising Pootie and making sure that we are making sure, you know, Pootie has, you know, certain things done and they spend certain quality time and making sure this is done. He does help out a lot as far as that kind of stuff. So my way of telling him and to encouraging him to go out is whenever he says it, I never say no. I just say, yeah, you need a break. You need a breather. And I just want to be able to have the same thing without being questioned all the time or being asked all the time, where are you going? Or being, I just want to have a relationship like I see everybody else have, where they say, baby, I'm going here, or baby, I'm leaving out, you know, the day, and I'm be gone all day, and it's not an issue. That's all I want. I mean, it seems simple to most people, but obviously it's because I've been the type that's always home. It's not simple with me and my home. So basically, like I said, it's a great opportunity for us to network and for us to talk about how you, in fact, have been able to get over this hurdle and what happened as far as your relationship when this has happened, and whether that's negative or positive. And basically just to get some clarity and some understanding and maybe some options of how I can get through this and how we can get through this together. So on that note, you guys, I love you so much. I hope you make sure you comment below, and I'll be talking to you soon. Be blessed.